Hello world, yes. I don't know if you heard, but the public advocate, Jumaane Williams, and the mayor of New York City, that's Eric Adams, are feuding. Jumaane Williams is pretty much not confirming whether or not he's running for mayor, but more than likely, he may be. Take a listen to what he has to say about Mayor Adams.
On the record. And Mr. Williams, welcome back to Picks and Politics. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
We'll get into why you invited you here, was to talk about your re-election as public advocate, if that comes to it, because there's so many balls in the air, and to be full disclosure, I'm taping this on a Friday afternoon, right? So let's begin with the news of the week, and really just beginning with the charges that were supposed to be dropped that haven't been yet, with this key phrase of without prejudice, meaning they could come back, right? When all of that happened, what was your reaction?
You know, I want to bring us back to maybe even a year ago, when everything we were told is that this investigation doesn't even center around the mayor. And from that time period, everything we heard has been misinformation or lies. It is a painful space to be in. I just got to tell you, as a black man who's a citywide elected official,
Yeah.
this happened to another black man who's another citywide, more powerful citywide elected official. So it's painful to watch this and to have to respond to it. But it is very clear that this mayor cannot be the mayor of this city. He cannot govern this city with charges held over his head. The quid pro quo is written in black and white from the DOJ. Daniel Sassoon from the Southern District made it even more explicit that this is what they wanted. And the meetings for the quid pro quo are happening as we speak.
So Adams' attorney, Alex Spiro, came out with a statement denying that this was a quid pro quo. You disagree?
I mean, I have tried to be measured how I talked about this.
Yeah.
But when it comes to black and white, when the DOJ themselves wrote a letter saying we didn't look at any of the evidence, so this is not about guilt or innocence, but what we are saying is we need you to help us with some of our priorities like immigration, and by the way, we can return these charges back to you at any point in time. And then you have Daniel Sassoon and others, who by the way, are Trump appointees.
Yeah.
These are the most conservative of conservatives. She interned for Anton Scalia. And they resigned and said, I cannot do this. And every time they try to give it to someone else, they say, we're resigning because we cannot do this. And then you see the thing that they're saying was quid pro quo actually happening. And then Sassoon laid out that they were going to do a superseding, laid out that the mayor's team himself were bargaining for this quid pro quo. That's not me. But my job is to make sure I'm focused on what's best for the city of New York. And what's best for the city of New York. New York is not this mayor, because it is clear he's making decisions not in the best interest of New York. And it's been like that for a while, and it's very hard, painful for me.
Support for the mayor is now waning, right? I hear it in what you're saying right now. He's facing criticism from the Speaker of the City Council. He's facing criticism from the Democratic Leader of the House, Hakeem Jeffries. Al Sharpton raising some questions as well. I asked the mayor about some of those folks who were asking if he can do his job. I want you to listen to what he had to say here. Have these big-time leaders expressing doubt. How do you ensure, New Yorker, that you can lead the city?
Well, Dan, if you want to know where a person is going, look at where he traveled from. Dan, people have been covering me for years. Remember, I was a police officer. Police commissioners determined my ability to be hired or fired. I was extremely critical in the police department, even with that threat hanging over my head. That's why I cut my teeth in showing how I would stand up for the city.
Okay, so he says he can lead. Should he resign? Do you think, as public advocate right now, that he should resign?
Well, Reese put out a statement saying, I would call for him to resign, but they would require him show a care about New York City over himself that he's been unable to do.
Okay.
But I will make it clear that he cannot be the mayor of this city and govern this city the way it needs to be governed. This is a national story. People are looking at it. If this can happen to the largest city, one of the most powerful mayor, where the Trump White House can just say, I'm going to make you do whatever I need to do, then what is to say about any other mayor in this country?
But does that mean he should resign? Are you saying that?
I also have to be careful because I'm next in line. So I really try to make sure that I'm responsible with my words.
Well, whether or not he wants the mayor to resign, he has to watch his wording because he knows if he says the wrong thing about the illegal immigrants not being deported, I can certainly tell you for sure that Williams himself will not be winning. So that's why he has to watch his words very
You're getting
carefully.
there, right? I know you have to be measured because you are next in line. So let me ask it a different way. If he doesn't resign, should the governor remove him?
I think we have to, we as a city, need to do everything we can. That includes our power to vote, to make sure that we have a new mayor. And I want everyone who has the power to do that.
And that's different than the question of should she remove him?
Trying to make sure I'm as measured as possible. I want everybody that has the power to make sure that we don't have a mayor that's in this situation to really look within themselves and the power that they have and do what's in the best interest of the city. I was speaking to someone, I said, this is getting worse by the day.
Yeah.
They said, no, it's getting worse by the hour. And we have people who are really scared and who are in harm's way. And I want to remind folks, this is the mayor. People may have forgotten, he told folks to send the migrants here. Mm-hmm. He actually said, send them here, we'll show you how to do it. All of these things are self-inflicted injuries and wounds. And now you want to help set up an apparatus. 40% of our city are immigrants, and they're all scared. It's just not about illegal, not illegal. There are people who are losing their status.
You know what that means when he says he has to be responsible for his words. I tell you one thing, if he don't say the right thing about illegal immigration, he won't be voted in.
A mayor of New York City, not a deputy to the White House.
So if you were to become mayor, I know you're measured because you could be next. Does that mean you run in the primary?
Nothing means anything. So what's clear in the charter is the line of succession.
Right.
All that, it's 90 days. All you're supposed to do at that time period is make sure that people understand that government is still running. 901, 301 will be called and answered, and the garbage will be picked up. Garbage is very important to be picked up. That will be my primary focus, and then we have to figure out the politics as we go. We're not there yet, and so everything I'm doing as public advocate and making sure that we're using our office to refocus New Yorkers, and particularly the hundreds of thousands of public sector workers, the agency heads, the commissioners, who are not getting the leadership right now. We said in another letter, it's clear what happens if the mayor is actually out of the position.
Yeah.
It's less clear when he's abdicating his duties and actually in the position.
It's a good segue to the next conversation, which is why